Hey nerds, welcome back to another video. Gabriella here. Today is a good day and it's going to get even better because I bring to you guys today my October wrap up. Finally, okay, a little bit late. It's fine, it's fine. October's just been all around a really weird month for me, reading wise and video making wise. It's been a roller coaster. So before we get into it, this is going to be a very short and sweet video because I only read 4 books this month. Not my worst month of the year, but it's bottom. It's at the bottom. And it's also been a roller coaster, like just quality of reading wise. Anyways, we've got one of my new all-time favorites and one of my new all-time most hated in the same month. It's been a wild ride. So before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe, click that little bell icon so you can be notified of every new video. Let's get into it. So the first book I read this month was actually a pretty good read, actually. And it is Carrie by Stephen King, my very first Stephen King. So excited. I wanted to make a spooky theme for October, which I failed, but that's fine. But this was my first try, spooky wise, and it gave what it had to give. I haven't seen the movie yet. I was planning on seeing the movie around Halloween time. That didn't happen, but that's okay. I will see it at some point. Honestly, I don't really need a season for spooky. I was just trying to keep a theme going. But yeah, very good book. I think I rated it 4 stars. I really was surprised with the format that it was in, because basically, if you know the story of Carrie, there's like prom night, pizza, it's the whole thing. And if you don't know about Carrie, I mean, I feel like it's one of Stephen King's most popular novels. But yeah, it's really good, very short. But yeah, the format was a mix of Carrie's perspective, from her point of view, as well as what seemed to be newspaper clippings, police and fire department reports, what seemed to be some sort of scientific research, as well as interviews. All that was mingled into one, which I found was really interesting. We really got to see like every possible angle of what happened in the time of this book, but very good. But yeah, Carrie is all about bullying and things turning dark and the victim fighting back in a pretty intense way.
I don't believe in the glorification of murder. I do believe in the empowerment of women.
Yeah, short and sweet, very good. And I will definitely read some more Stephen King. Sometime. I have 2 other of his novels, The Stand and The Shining, so I will definitely be reading some more of his work. The next book I want to talk about is a book that TikTok made me read. How do I even explain? Let's just start with what it is. It is Verity by Colleen Hoover, Coho, if you will. She is kind of the queen of book talk. I feel like everybody on book talk has read every one of her books. I decided that Verity was going to be the first one because it was the one that had the least mixed reviews, as well as worked for me for spooky season. I thought that would be perfect. I knew nothing of it. I just knew it was going to be like psychological thriller-y. It was going to be creep me out in certain ways. That is what I had heard. And so I bought the book. And so I read the book. And so I regret doing both. Okay. This is probably one of the worst books I've ever laid hands on. Eyes on? Whichever. I feel bad for saying this because I know how many freaking people love this book and how many people love Colleen Hoover, and damn did I want to love her. I wanted to love her so freaking bad, and I think that's what made me hate this book even more. And like I said, I went in blind, not knowing anything, because I was told that was the best way to go about this book, and I trust people when they say that, and I will continue to trust people when they say that. I just will not trust TikTok when they tell me. Because honestly, if I had read the first 2 words in the synopsis, I would have known exactly what I was getting into, and I would have been like, no, sweetie, lights out, we're done. You're done. Because, and the reason why I say this is because the main character's name are the first 2 words of the synopsis of this book. And her name is Lowen Ashley. And what in the goddamn Wattpad ass name generator was that? Lowen Ashley. Ashley being the last name, Lowen being the first. What is that? Where? What? And then this, I didn't even read the back of the book, like, at all when I bought it. I just literally just opened. Gotta appreciate the flop though. Respect. But yeah, everything was, the thing is, I feel like everybody should be able to make their own opinions. So at the same time, I feel like I don't want to talk too much about what I disliked about this book, but at the same time, I really want to rant about it. So I guess if you want to read this book, just skip ahead. I'll put a timestamp. But yeah, let's just get into the nitty gritty, okay? Because I won't do another video about this, okay? This is gonna get spoilery for the next few minutes, okay? But that was awful. First of all, the writing style. It gave me fanfiction.net fanfiction, and not the good kind, not the good, because there's some good shit, fanfiction.net and archive our own, but that was not it. Maybe, I mean, it didn't even give me Wattpad. It was worse than that somehow. The writing style, it felt like a teenager wrote this. And considering Colleen Hoover's in her 40s, mother of I don't know how many children, married, I'm just like, is this the flavor we're getting from this? Like, why? Also, Verity. I didn't know what Verity meant. It's the name of a character in the book. Not the main character. Another one. Well, I mean, she's a major character, but still. I was like, what the fucking name is Verity? Why? Pourquoi? You see, I'm so angry my French is coming out. It's a whole mess. Okay, like I said, this is gonna get spoilery. I'm gonna stop holding the book because I need my hands to speak. But basically, Verity starts out like the book, where Lowen, basically, she's going to some sort of meeting for her job. You don't know what her job is yet. And she's in New York City where she lives and where the meeting is, and she's about to cross the street when a guy just walks down into the street looking at his phone, like a stranger, just like a person walking, while the cars are still going, and he got hit, and she describes in like vivid details his head being crushed by the wheel, and the main character has blood all over her and all that. And you're like, whoa, okay, so we're starting with the creepiness and the disturbingness from the beginning. Then I was like, this might be interesting. But then that's when it turned very Wattpad-y plot-wise, is that a passerby saw that she was full of blood, and she went into like a random coffee shop or whatever bathroom so she could like try and clean herself, and he came into the bathroom with her and gave her the shirt off his back, which, like, I mean, I appreciate, but that would never happen. And he was like, oh, I've got other shirts. We all got other shirts, dude, but like, you know, but I mean, he had an undershirt, so he wasn't just walking out shirtless, obviously. But yeah, and then she was like really thankful, and then she had the shirt on, and then she goes into her meeting, and we find out it's a meeting that she has with her agent. She's a writer, an author, and he just she decides not to tell him what happened, because he's like, why the fuck are you dressed this way? Like, you look like a mess. Like, this is a really important meeting. And she was like, yeah, I know, but this is all I had. It's like, you could have said what happened and he would have understood, and he could have been like, whoa, let's take a moment, let's chill. But she actually just trudge on. Meanwhile, while all this is happening, you get a glimpse of, like, you get information about her life. Like the fact that her mother passed away 2 weeks ago, and it's like, damn, it's like piling it on. We're at page number 5, bitches. And you find out that she's been caring for her mother for the past year. She's got money issues because her mother had said, hey, if you take care of me, I'll give you all my money. There's a lot of money left. And then right on her deathbed, she's like, by the way, I'm broke. I'm also in debt, just like you. So you'll be out on the streets when I die. It's like, great. Love this mother-daughter relationship. Very cute, very aesthetic. And then she's in the meeting, and lo and behold, who's the person doing the meeting? The guy who gave her the shirt in the bathroom, of course. And then you find out that his wife, Verity, is a really big author. Imagine like J.K. Rowling type. And she got in an accident, a car accident. And she's some sort of injured that stops her from being able to write a book. So they decide to offer Lowen like hundreds of thousands of dollars to ghostwrite or co-write, but basically completely write. So it's like a co-ghostwrite. Um, the last 3 books of the series that the author had planned. And I'm like, we're at page like 10 or 15 at this point. I'm just like, what is going on? And the rest of the book ends up being this sort of like thing. She gets close to the Lowen, gets close to the husband, but then you find out that Verity might have killed her 2 daughters, and then there's this whole thing, and now at the end you end up and you're not sure who's the bad guy. Like, why? Why? Oh gosh, that was exhausting. Just talking about it is exhausting. And then you sprinkle in that like Wattpad writing, and it's just like, ugh. That was a DNF for me. I DNF'd it because it's a 1 star. DNF is automatic 1 star for me, by the way. No, it was just horrible in so many ways. And yeah, that's the end of my rant. I'm tired. But yeah, that was Verity by Colleen Hoover. And I started to try and see if there were other books of hers that I would like, because she does romance books a lot. And then I saw one of my favorite booktubers, Books with Chloe, who read It Ends With Us, which is her other most popular book, I would say, with Ugly Love on TikTok. And she told me, said in a vlog, like, stuff that happened in the book, and I was like, yeah, I guess this is the end for Colleen Hoover for me. It's just not happening. I'm sorry, baby. Love you, girl, but it's a no for me. Well, okay, so moving on to bigger and better things. I ended up actually listening to the audiobook of The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. This was actually a really fun read. I was really excited to read this because basically the synopsis is that the Thursday Murder Club is a group of octogenarians, a bunch of old folks in an old folks home who try to solve murders. But while they're trying to solve an unsolved case from like 20 years ago, a new murder happens that seems to be connected. So it's sort of the story of that. I was really excited because I felt like it was going to be fun and light, and I feel like we never get a perspective of an older person. I feel like the only time I get someone older in a book is usually some sort of historical fiction where they're the one narrating or something. But they were like the stars of the book, which I found was really interesting. Very interesting dynamics, because really what linked all these people together were just the fact that they love solving murders and solving puzzles and, fighting crime in their own way. So I find it so interesting just seeing the dynamics between the people. Like when you have one central, it's a big thing, but it's only one central thing that you have together. Those dynamics are always going to be super interesting, and it gave what I had to give. It was really interesting. I have to say, another audiobook I listened to makes me realize that audiobooks just don't work with my ADHD brain. Just doesn't vibe. So I'm gonna try to lay off them for a while, because it just doesn't seem like it's working. I was zoned out for quite a few pieces of it. So there's probably a lot that I missed, to be honest. But still, it was a 4 stars for me. So you know what? I'm going to count it as a win. It's a win for me. Especially after the previous book. Anyways, so this was a good one. The second one actually just came out earlier this fall. But I don't know if I want to read it or not, to be honest. It's like I really enjoyed this, but I kind of want to keep it the way it was, you know? It kind of felt a little unnecessary as a sequel. Like, I don't know. For me, unnecessary for me, not as a whole book, but for me, I feel like I'm kind of done with these characters in the story. You know what I mean? Like, I'm ready to move on to something else. But otherwise, very, very fun. Very exciting. I definitely recommend this one. And now, you guys, final book I read this month. The only 5 stars. It is the only Love Hypothesis. That was amazing. That was amazing. I read it in one day, y'all. I was at my boyfriend's house, and he was actually gone most of the weekend, to be honest. But I had my best friend with me, aka Olive and Adam, my best friends, love of my lives, with me, and that's all I needed. Yeah, read this in one day. That was incredible. Also, love this cover. Love the blue and pink together. I feel like we don't get that enough. Love it. It just looks outstanding. And I got a copy. I don't know if you guys are well versed in this book, but it seems like everybody has been getting a copy that has an unremovable sticker, which already unremovable stickers are a whole nother thing. But you know what the unremovable sticker says? The TikTok sensations. No. I realize TikTok is powerful. I love TikTok. I'm on TikTok. I post on TikTok. I like on TikTok. Not on my books. If you're going to put an unremovable sticker with TikTok on it, I'd rather not own the book at all. But anyways, Amazon Canada had the version without the TikTok sticker, so it's another win for me. God, that was so freaking good. That was so good, you guys. So obviously the love hypothesis, a romance between Olive and Adam. Basically, Olive is a PhD candidate at Stanford University in biology. Adam is the brooding, mean, sort of intense, what is he? Researcher? Professor? He's got a PhD. He's Dr. Adam. Also in biology. Olive hasn't ever interacted with him, but knows him. He's infamous for being kind of a DICK. So, you know, we've got the grump sunshine going on. But then Olive wants to make sure that her friend knows that she's over her ex. So she decides to just kiss the nearest boy, the nearest man. And that just happens to be Mr. Adam. He kisses back, just saying. And they decide to embark on a fake relationship. So Olive can convince her friend that, you know, she's over the ex. And it actually kind of works out for Adam. We know why it works out for Adam, okay? We all know. We can predict. Okay, I'm sure you can figure it out. But it works out for him in other ways. So Olive was like, cool, we'll do that. They even have an end date for their fake dating. Anyways, yes, that was, I'm so excited because this was so talked up by everybody that I was scared again. That I was like, I'm not ready for another Verity. Like, this is also really popular on TikTok. It's popular on other things, but it's very popular on TikTok. Everybody's read it on TikTok. And so I was like, I can't have this happen again. This has to be good. And the fake dating trope is like, oh, God tier for me. Enemies to lovers and fake dating to me are the ideal love tropes. Let's not look into the whole, you know. But yeah, so when I knew there was a fake dating one, and also it was written initially as fan fiction for Kylo Ren and Rey from Star Wars, which is so funny because I hadn't seen the Star Wars until 2020 because my boyfriend is like obsessed, and he was like, I can't date someone who hasn't seen them, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll watch them. And you know, I'm not a Kylo Ren, Rey, Rilo fan, but she did what she had to do. I mean, it's fan fiction, so I mean, and they're also in a totally different format than Star Wars, obviously. I mean, they're in California, they're not in space. But God, that was so good. That was the ideal way to end the month for me. Yeah, and it gave me back the love of reading I had lost for 5 seconds after Verity. So if ever you read a book you really don't like, read this one next. It'll solve all your problems. Okay? I just can't even begin to explain how much I love this book. I finished it. I was already saving up, but you know, I sat down emotionally. And then I was like, I gotta read this again. I didn't because I've got other books to read, okay? I gotta keep that TBR moving. But that's it. That's all I have to say. So guys, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. If you did, please let's put an angry face emoji for how angry Verity made me. Why not? So thank you guys so much for watching. These are the books I read this month. It feels really sad holding 4 books. But at the same time, I remind myself that's 4 more books than some other people read in their lifetimes. So, yeah. What a month. What a month. But thank you guys so much for watching. As always, all my social medias are linked down below, as well as my brand new website. That's not really brand new anymore because I started in September. But anyways, GabysPages.com, where you can find all my reviews, as well as my book finder, all my videos, all that, all in GabysPages.com. My Instagram, my Facebook, my Twitter, my TikTok, all linked down below, as well as ways to support this channel with my book outlet referral code, my TubeBuddy referral code, and my Ko-fi for donations. And all the books I talked about today will be linked down below with Amazon affiliate links. Any books you purchase through those links, I will get a little extra money, and Bezos will get a little less in his pockets. So, you know, supporting me, a small creator, is basically helping end capitalism. Think about it that way. That's how you should think about it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon. Bye-bye!